What up? What up? What's going on? Live from the 856. This is channel 856. Back again. Week 2. It's your boy Danny X.
Back at it again. Week 2. Danny said it best. You here with Jared as well. Let's get right into it. Week 2. Y'all know what we're here for. So
Yeah, you know what time it is. You know what's going on. Shout out King as always behind the camera, holding it down. Shout out CP. And yeah, we back at it. Week 2. Can't believe we already like full swing in the football season. Got a game tonight, obviously, with the Commanders and the Packers. But yeah, let's get into it. As always, we start off with the league recap, see how last week went. And it was a pretty good opening week of football. Definitely a little bit of surprises. Some of our hot takes weren't as
oh Lord.
as accurate as we thought they'd be. But yeah, no, it went pretty solid. I mean, for me, my Keon Coleman prediction was pretty accurate. He looked like a number one. The numbers don't lie. That definitely there. So, I mean, hell of a game to.
I'm glad you didn't start him.
Hell of a game to close Sunday Night Football, and then JJ McCarthy, being a dog on Monday night and coming back against Chicago. Anything from Week 1 that stood out to you?
Yeah, my 3 favorite games of the week definitely the Jets, Steelers, Ravens, and the Bills, and then it was. I'll be honest, it was probably exciting seeing the Vikings and Bears. It was better than I thought. It was just wild that the Bears lost that game. But
Yeah.
it was kind of cool seeing that, like you said, McCarthy kind of turned into a dog there. So, but the Bucks Falcons was also pretty good there at the end.
Crazy
so.
game.
Yeah.
I feel like we were mentioning it last week, just how the Bucks and Falcons just always just put on bangers, and both of their games last year coming down to one possession as well as this one. Yeah, no, it was a good opening week. Travis Hunter didn't, as far as my prediction there, wasn't as explosive as I thought. They're looking to uptick his workload this upcoming week, so that'll be interesting to see. Excuse me. You got the Colts demolishing Miami. I think that was one of the bigger surprises. To your hot take saying Tua was gonna go off.
Yeah.
Just kind of just laying a stinker up in Indy.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's just like, would you say it's more like the Miami offense was bad or Indy's defense was that good?
No, I just think everything was said about the Dolphins is kind of true. Like the locker room isn't vibing with the coach. That team pretty much quit. It's ugly already.
And even hearing what
destroyed by Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
Destroyed.
And then even hearing what Jalen Ramsey was kind of saying, being cryptic on his way out.
They're not playing.
Not
It's
cohesive.
different. It's not like Mike Tomlin or Shanahan. This just Mike McDaniels. They know can get away with nonsense.
Cultures.
Quitting. They're gonna lose their job or their spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyreek is just doing whatever over there.
Talk to me about the Jets. I mean, you guys looked incredible. I'm not gonna say all 3 phases because Gibson, that was not great, but he played. That was with y'all, right? Y'all let him go, Xavier Gibson.
Yeah, he just got cut.
Yeah. I know he's. I think he dropped or muffed a punt. Had a fumble on the special teams, but incredible game. It all comes down to a Jalen Ramsey hit, right? We don't know what Justin Fields does on that drive. You guys get that first down. Aaron Rodgers looked good. Like I said, Justin Fields looked good. Garrett Wilson looked phenomenal. Your run offense was good enough to offset and put all 3 levels: intermediate game, short game, long ball. All looked good. You guys answered every punch the Steelers threw. So to go up against a veteran quarterback in a new place with Justin Fields in a new system with some familiar faces, I thought you guys showed a lot of promise and looked really good. So, definitely looking forward to seeing how you guys go into week 2. Raiders got the dub. Hard-fought dub. Defense looked good. Offense looked solid. Gino.
You look good.
Yeah. Throwing 362, I think, something like that. Only 1 touchdown, so obviously you want maybe a little bit more production throwing that for that much. But it looked really good to start. I mean, going up to New England, it's a week 1 road game. Coming off the offseason, that can never be easy. Obviously, going into an environment like New England, one of the more passionate fan bases in the league. So, I'm glad we got the dub there. Chargers upset, probably one of the bigger surprises coming out of week 1. getting that dub over the Chiefs in Brazil. And I guess everything pretty much, as far as like favorites, kind of played out how they should. Or no, the Packers look dominant over the Lions at home. So it'll be interesting to see how they replicate that tonight with Washington coming in. Yeah, Rams, Bills, yeah. So overall, a really good week one. Any players or anything from like your takes or anything from week one that you feel like, um, obviously like we mentioned the two, anything like you got like wrong or surprised about, like your biggest surprise coming out of week one, would you say?
I don't have anything that's particularly surprising. I just thought a lot of teams start slow, which they do. Like the Bengals, they start slow. 49ers look slow. I know they got a couple injuries, so they're looking like they're kind of like right now. Few teams that kind of just looked like decent, but definitely have a ways to go. Like you could see the Titans have something there.
Yep.
They're not gonna probably win a lot of games. They got something there, but the
Totally.
Broncos they kind of look like ooh they should have won that game by a margin.
Yeah.
We'll see though. Let me think. Falcons, Bucks. Like I said, that game was interesting, but I kind of want to see like what Penix does. You just got to see like there's more time, but at the end of the day, I think the Chargers. That was one team that kind of stuck out in my mind. It's like, oh, okay, they really came with it.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking into our league, so as always, my guy Quinn will put the standings right here. Well, actually, I got a point over here now because we got a ticker. We got a ticker over here. So standings will be right here with everybody going after week one. Speaking of King, he won as his matchup. Currently sitting in second only because of points. Obviously, it's only 1 week, so everybody that won is tied. Guru Zaire 115. Got a Zaire played. Let's look so we don't have to waste too much time. So week one. Obviously, we talked about it. Podcast guys played. So we'll start there. Actually, good dub.
Appreciate it.
Hard fought dub. Both of our quarterbacks flopped. I mean, Burrow with 10.8.
Stinker.
Bo Nix with 8.8. I feel like we matched up well every other play. Like,
I went into this one kind of knowing I was gonna have a deficit at running back. I wasn't sure which one to start, and I actually felt bad because I started all my running backs scored besides Tracy, and that's the one I picked. So when I was looking early, JCM scored, Charbonnet scored, and I thought they had pretty solid games, but that part
for
was
sure.
almost burned me.
And even like if you look head to head, 23. I had 23.7 to your 20.9. So it's not like I outscored you at that position in particular too bad. Our wideouts, I mean, both of your
Puka's
guys
a
were under
dog.
10. Puka's a dog. I mean, well, I don't know if it was like a gash in his head or like a cut that he got in his
eye
head.
was bleeding.
Yeah, his eye like come back in and just a weapon.
He left twice. That's why I was like, wait,
Yeah.
he's back? I kept seeing him. Like,
I think
he
like
came back.
the cut reopened and then he like came back in, but he's a dog. We'll get to Puka a little bit later. And
I think what really saved me though, last minute I had picked up the Rams defense and I was like, I can't rock with Baltimore. I was like, I don't feel like playing against Josh Allen.
I didn't realize, bro, you made that move. What was it 12:20?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was late.
I didn't realize how last minute that was, and
I was looking at them too long, and I just said something's like, yo, you're gonna be disappointed if you don't play them. And it really came down to like them or Seattle. But once Seattle said CMC was playing, I kind of backed off there.
Fairbairn was pissing me off too because like they were just getting enough offense in for him to kick.
And it was funny.
And I'm just like, yo,
they were helping
like,
each other. Like it seemed like the Rams defense was stifling, so then Fairbairn would get
literally
field goal. So
like you might get a sack to keep him there, then Fairbairn comes to kick. Like they were working in tandem for sure. I mean,
the only one who came to play for me was Garrett. I think for real.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas had a fluky touchdown. I mean Saquon and Garrett. But the ancillary pieces, like the kicker and defense, I think that's what really supplanted, like, for my win. My team underperformed big time.
Yeah, I mean, well, neither of us were over. You just scraped 90. I got 84. I think Alex's son in the chat was just like, we're just going to let 80 point teams. It's like, especially in week one, usually, not to say that you expect, like, you should be flirting with 100, right? Like, it's everybody's week one. Like, it should be definitely, So we might not have had the most entertaining matchup, but it might have been a little bit just because of it came down to the wire. I had a defense going, but that team got it going too late, unfortunately. So we'll see. On to the next matchup. We had Kemis get a dub over Scoop, 107-96.
Lamar went crazy.
Lamar went crazy. His backs were sturdy. Pause. Uh, his running backs were sturdy. DK was solid. Goddard, I feel like I was the owner of Goddard last year and I barely got 7.9. So, like, to get that out of Goddard, I feel like is solid. Jared Duty, with his quarterback situation, giving you 9.1 is solid. My kicker, Daniel Carlson, Raider, he's just always going to have, I feel like he always gets a field goal somehow, some way. Scoop, um, yeah, it just came down to his receivers and tight end. Like, his flex didn't really. And then the Lions put up 0. I don't think he expected that coming from that defense. Expected more of a competitive fight from them, especially in the division game up in Lambeau. But his team shows some good promise. But, you know, he might have to put Tyreek Hill on the trade block. We could talk about that later. Just people that, like, early scares
It
or
was
early,
under
like,
investigation.
yeah, literally. So,
I ain't trading for him.
and then even David Njoku, we'll talk about the waiver wire. I know I feel like Fannon's been the guy I've been seeing all week about. Excuse me, I got this scratch. Sorry, viewers. It should go away. I'm drinking water anyway. But yeah, like I feel like that should. I don't think that should be a big threat to David Njoku. I feel like he's one of the better safety blankets in the entire league for his quarterback. So, I don't think that he'll be much of a threat. So that 5.2 shouldn't be too much of a threat. Onward to Zaire, like I mentioned, the high point scorer this week. Jalen, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, right?
2.
I believe, yeah. So, getting the points from that, as well as having a decent passing game. He dropped 24. Brees Hall with 15. He looked solid. Justin Jefferson and Malik Neighbors and Bowers, that receiving tandem's always going to do what they do, be a foundation. And I feel like he had to just in his case, like his lowest point score was 7.4. You're probably winning most matchups when you have that, right? So like he was able to put up a solid fight. And even in Foome's case, like Derrick Henry was able to be his quarterback as far as point output. But his floor for points, like he had a 0 from the Bills defense just because it was a shootout. Getting 4 points from Nico Collins, which is one of your lottery, higher round picks. So C.J. Stroud kind of giving you like average wide receiver numbers. So he was in it most of the day. It just came down to that last punch. Justin Jefferson getting in the touchdown definitely caused some separation there. So and then Tyler Loop coming in with 13 points from the kicker spot. Onward to. I'm not sure. The app is literally glitching. Okay, it's back. Chris beat CP 108-91.
Josh Allen.
When you get 42 points from Josh Allen as your last punch on Sunday night, definitely will send
like
you over
Mike
the edge.
Tyson, like.
Yeah, it's literally 42 out of nowhere. I mean, not out of nowhere, but you're gonna get with him. And then Christian McCaffrey back to his old ways at 18.7. Omarion Hampton, DJ Moore both with 7.1. AJ Brown with a 1.3, which we'll probably never see again. So for him to get a dub and have AJ Brown put up 1.3 shows he has a solid team. Tet McMillan 9, so solid debut. Younghoe Koo from Atlanta is always going to be a solid kicker, 9 points there. And then CP just Pacheco with 3. He had a lot of low point scores. Hawkinson, Chase, and Pacheco combined for less than 10. So that's tough getting 3. Your keeper and your lottery and your RB 1, 2 combining for 10 is very tough, and that'll be a tough road ahead for the dub. But his stack looked good. Kyler to Marvin Harrison is looking to be one of the better stacks coming out of this league. King with a demolishing of red.
Yeah.
That was one of the league off season stories. Well, it's not off season. I guess it was kind of like once the draft happened, a lot of people were getting on King about, Emeka Egbuka was that your 4th round pick?
Yeah,
We talked about it a little bit
he went
last week.
Worthy Buka back to
Yeah,
back. That to me, I was in the draft like, what? I had
yeah.
no clue that was coming, and I was surprised for sure.
And we talked about it last week, but he balled out.
Oh
Two,
yeah,
two touchdowns, getting 21 in his debut for fantasy. Having Baker with that stack, getting 50 right there is a good start.
look at the trio of Bijan, Baker, and Ibuka. Like gosh,
Bijan Baker Buka.
yeah, literally like just
Yeah.
right there, like that's cooking. Probably just yeah.
And then Kyron, is one of the most consistent running backs as far as a fantasy football standpoint. And to get you know, Travis Kelce running his route and taking out one of his wide receivers early in the game and to still win by almost 30. Jalen Warren solid in the Jalen Warren solid in the flex. Just a good overall output. I would just say, we were talking about before we started shooting. I think, excuse me, Ingram came off the IR or injury report. So not IR, injury report. Excuse me. That was a little drastic, but injury report. So he should be good to go for this upcoming week. And then rounding up the last game, really competitive game, probably the closest game besides our game. Alex and Steen, 103 to 100 flat. Mahomes and Kelce connected. JSN, his keeper, with a good 15 points to start off the week. Jonathan Taylor was solid. Pat Mahomes came through. And, just a good all-around performance, a good competitive game. If Kittle and Purdy don't
Literally
get hurt, that's an easy dub for Steen. Despite having Terry only having 3 points, K9, Kenneth Walker only having 3 points. Zay came clutch for him. Little, the Jags kicker, came up super clutch for him. So, really good start to the week. Jared and I were both saying it in the chat. We got to be better as far as scoring. Definitely got to get that up for the next week. I play King this week. Who do you have this week? You said
Evan.
Got Evan this week. So
Be right at him in Tampa. Tell him I beat him.
we are actually. I'm glad you brought that up. So stay tuned. We are definitely looking to shoot some Channel 856 content. The boys are taking a trip down to Florida for a Week 3 matchup. It's a Channel 856 matchup we're actually going to see, right? We got Jared and the Jets going down to Tampa to face King and the the Buccaneers. So we're going to go down there. Hopefully catch some dope content. Hopefully we get an episode in for you guys. Obviously, we don't want to skip a beat with the season, so stay tuned for that. It'll be pretty dope. And yeah, it's my birthday as well, so it'll be a really fun weekend. Little conclusion of summer, because I think literally summer ends technically like that Monday or Tuesday. So be a nice dope way to finish off the summer and lock in for the fourth quarter of 2025. Waiver wire. I don't know. It's a little bit early. I don't think obviously you don't want to reach too quickly, or to be too rash or too impulsive, if you will, when you go to get your waivers. But anybody that you see that stuck out that a lot of people were tracking. I know I mentioned Fannin earlier, the TE2 in Cleveland. A lot of people are looking at. Maybe your league didn't have Justin Herbert drafted for some reason. Aaron Rodgers, as it might be in your free agent. So I know a lot of people are looking out for them. Any waivers that you say in mind, or people that you were looking at, for your own teams or in general?
Yeah, definitely. I had a couple ideas. Definitely the Harold Fannin Jr. one. I think he had 8 or 9 targets, and then a reverse. Especially too, I think he outshined Njoku. I had really big high hopes for Njoku this week versus the Bengals, but I thought Fannin cut into that majorly. I thought the Browns were gonna force feed maybe the tight end. But yeah, he looks like he's a player. He's going to be a player. Might be a thorn in Njoku's side. So depending if you're thin at tight end or if you want to back up, sure, he's a stash, a hold. Me personally in this league, I liked what I saw from Juwan Johnson. He had 11 targets from the tight end position. I mean, granted, I don't think it's a winning formula having Spencer Rattler throw 40 plus times, but
8 of 11.
Yeah, like you see, like there's kind of like that chemistry, that preference, maybe short area over the middle targets for them, their offense, Kellen Moore. So I figure, hey, I have Mark Andrews again this year. He got me 1 point, 1 catch, 5 yards. At that point, the alarm bells kind of go off. Like, okay, I don't know if I have the stomach to repeat his rockiness last year, but I don't know if I want a Saints player. But those are two tight ends specifically. It's hard to find good tight ends in our league. So
No, for sure.
those, especially if you're a Kittle owner, definitely consider maybe even Ingram if you want to injury protection. Um, Let me think. Receivers, I do like Seti Tillman. I've a bit. Like, I think last episode I had him as like a player to watch this year.
Absolutely.
I like what I see from him. Not a big fan of Quentin Johnson. I really had him last year. He's a good, talented player. He just drops the ball too much for me. He'll have his spike weeks. It's just I need sometimes your ceiling, or sorry, your floor to be 8 to 11 points, 8 to 13 points as a flex. I don't think he's gonna get you that consistently. He got me a 0 when I needed him last year, and it was 3 or 4 drops. I think it was the Chargers versus Baltimore game last year,
Yeah.
and it was just like pathetic.
What do you
But,
think of a guy like like a Butte out of New England, or like
so
people like that?
I
Like,
feel like did he just get re-signed with New England, or is he on the Niners? So I figured, didn't he get? It
I,
says
I
okay, so
think
he came from the Niners to New England.
I think Kendrick Bourne just went
Oh,
to
okay,
the
that's what I'm thinking
so
of.
too. This is KB, so you probably, yeah, similar names, but
Okay.
Kendrick Bourne just went back to San Fran.
I'm not a fan of that specifically. Like even like somebody like Thielen, I'm not really going for. Um, I probably, if I really had to take a flyer, I definitely like Trey Benson. He played a nice like snap count with James Conner on the field, and I
No,
feel like
absolutely.
too Conner's injury history is documented. Like he's 30, so you could always be ahead of the game instead of trying to waiver him. Say, hey, I'll just stash him, and then God forbid if James Conner gets hurt, you got an RB1 or RB2, whatever. But
Yeah, another one that is interesting is Gainwell in Pittsburgh, because you think they
mm,
drafted Caleb Johnson, that he would be kind of like the next man up after Jalen Warren, but Gainwell got some good reps um, coming out of the game, so that'll be one to monitor as well. But I had that issue with tight end myself, just because like I have Chiggy Okongwu from Tennessee, who I just dropped, and then I had Colston Loveland, who I'm kind of just taking a flyer. It was a keeper pick, but like hoping that he gets worked into the offense because he had early reps in that game. So just hoping that he gets them. But now I gotta kind of figure out um, what how to move from there, because Chiggy, I didn't like he didn't get a lot of reps, so it didn't seem like he's about to be like intricate into offense too much. So I didn't like how like his role in the offense looked. So I was looking at Fannin, but I also see Njoku, so I'm not ready to take the gamble on it. So I actually did pick up Hunter Henry. He had 8 targets against us, the leading target getter with Stephon Diggs.
mm,
So that's good to see. I know him and Drake may have good chemistry as well. I was thinking about Zach Ertz, but I know he's super touchdown dependent. He is the
yeah.
red zone guy. Like him and Jaden do link up in the red zone really well, but I can't be relying on 3.7 turning into 10.7. Just hoping that he gets in the end zone. So I'm gonna rock out with Hunter Henry this week. Um, Go from there. See what happens. But if your league has Michael Penix, that might be someone to think about if you need a backup. Aaron Rodgers. Um, I don't think it's time to like go make your Daniel Jones pick. Personally, I know our Colts fan in our league did. He picked him up, as he should though. I mean, as a fan, you should have a little bit more, confidence than someone who's not a Colts fan. But he looked really good, so um, hopefully Jonathan Taylor owners don't have to worry too much about him stealing rushing touchdowns. So good luck to y'all with that. But yeah, we'll see how the waiver goes. It's a little early. Hopefully, you don't got to dip too much in that. I know George Kittle owners might need to look for a tight end, so hopefully that helped. Um, Brock Purdy owners got to look. I got an alert like right when we started. I think he's like 2 to 5.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. If you need a quarterback, that might be something to look into um, for your leagues. One of the aforementioned. So yeah, so. On to league happenings in the League of Kings. So let me get my water for this one. So I am now the owner of Jamar Chase.
Just like that's how you start the discussion.
Oh man, we're good on time on this one, Q. We're good on time. Okay, cool.
Might change the battery.
Okay.
Soon, though.
So league happenings, right? Had a couple of transactions to open the waivers. Let's see. Like I said, Steen grabbed Daniel Jones. Obviously, he's a Colts fan. I'm not surprised. And then one actually.
Oh, he put a waiver in for him.
One I wish I would. He should have did it in reverse because one move King and I were talking about off camera is he got Brenton Strange from Jacksonville. He looked good going into this second week as a top 20 tight end from his performance in week 1. King got Quentin Johnson, dropped Marvin Mims. He did score. He does have Swervo as well, so hopefully he doesn't play that stat because it was very good week 1. And they go at Vegas Monday night where that stat could be just as good, if not better. Deuce, Alex, he grabbed Tyler Algier. Jared grabbed Juwan Johnson, as aforementioned, just the targets. He looked really good. He comes down with that ball. They're going into overtime with Arizona. Spencer Rattler dropped a dot on him. If he come down with that ball, Buda Baker made an incredible play to kind of jar it out. But and then you also grabbed Darnell Mooney, another good pick.
I was juggling between those two just because I'm like, maybe if Drake London misses any time, goes on IR,
Yep.
I'll take a flyer on Mooney there.
And Josh Allen, I feel like is just pure, just like electric home run ball. Like
I like him. I just
yeah,
don't
he's a
think
good
I think
player.
Tyler Warren is going to take up a lot of those short area routes, unfortunately, over the middle.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones seemed to like Michael Pittman after 1 week too. So we'll see. Don't know how much how much food is left on the table for Josh after that. Red picked up Kareem Hunt, dropped Bigsby. Guessing obviously Bigsby, one of the earlier moves in the NFL season, got moved to Philly, so maybe just weary of his usage rate behind Saquon. Fair enough. Chris got Joey Slide, dropped Young Hui, which I'm a little not sure why he did that.
He's on IR, I think. Oh no, I'm sorry, Young Hoku.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know somebody's kicker was on IR. I looked at that earlier. I was like, oh, dag.
Oh,
Tyler
looks like
Bass,
looks like
maybe?
the Falcons are working out kickers, so he might not have a job coming up.
Oh gosh.
Interesting. So, to get to the trade, right? So, minding my business, la la la, chilling out, just hanging out, and CP, just sends a flyer over. Is like, Chase is on the board. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, all right, why not? So, I threw out my offer. I was like, all right, I got AK, Puka Nakua, and then if you can throw in a running back, so we can make it even positional swap, that'd be perfect. And then he thought about it. He's like, give me till the morning. I was like, bet. Thought about it. And then he sent it. I will accept. Like, I think, so here's how I kind of digested the trade, right? So, I think he had a tough running back room initially. Trevion Henderson, Pacheco, and then his third running back is, damn, why am I blanking? Let's see, we're pulling up his team right now. And yeah, that's pretty much was it. Like Pacheco and Henderson. And then he had like Jerome Ford, Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson. So that's a tough running back room, which you kind of gotta get rid of something if you want like a stud to be your RB1 or kind of lead that room to accompany Trevion or Pacheco or whatever you decide to do. So I was able to give him AK. Obviously, I think people are weary of him because of the offense he's in, but with the quarterback. But as you can see, he still was able to have a pretty decent game. If Spencer Rattler can stay competitive, AK will still be serviceable. And then Puka Nakua, like we were talking about earlier, is a dog. He's a PPR machine, excuse me. and we'll get his reps and make sure that he is within the offense. So I think it gives him more just top to bottom depth for his team going into this next week. And I think that'll give him a little bit more of a, top to bottom competition, right? Like you don't want to be too running back heavy, wide receiver heavy. Obviously, the league, it makes some people are just like whatever. It's a good trade, decent business. Others are like, it's early, right? Like why are we doing that trade so early? What makes you want to make rash decisions? Obviously, Chase is a number one pick.
Yeah, that's the
Using
part.
a number one pick and having a number one pick for 1 week. And
Yeah.
and putting him on the trade block is a little interesting. So I totally get that, I understand it,
My
but
thing is, I'll be real. I wouldn't even do that deal if it was like Puka and Kamara for Chase head up. I'm still not even doing that.
yeah.
Like,
Just from like star power or
yeah, like Jamar
yeah.
Chase can get you 3 touchdowns. Like nobody in that deal is. Granted, Kamara in his prime, yeah, he was like that. But like
Yeah.
tonight, like if you needed I'm down 25 in the fantasy playoffs, and I got 1 player left. Who you want at that deal? You want Puka?
Nah,
You want
yeah,
Kamara?
yeah.
I would want Chase.
Fair enough.
But like I said, it's early. But that was the part that was like, oh, like I was like when I saw the trade. I was at the Mets game last night. We got whacked, but yeah, I was looking at the trade and it said trade process. I was like, wait, what happened? And I was looking like Jamar Chase. I was like, oh, but hey, I like Jamar Chase.
And then for me, I definitely take a hit at running back, losing AK, my third round pick. So definitely let Genty lead the way. I like what I saw from him week 1. I think it'll only get better. Letting Genty lead the way, and then now I have Isaiah Pacheco. It's funny how my team is like rooted in my AFC West rivals. So I'll be watching a lot of my rivals play football this year, but I think Pacheco, it'll be boom or bust, and I kind of just got to live with that, right? I mean, the first week they were playing down to LA all game, so he wasn't liable to get too many runs because obviously Pat had to throw the ball to keep him in the game, be competitive. But I mean, they're playing the Eagles this week, Super Bowl rematch. They all should have a little chip on their shoulder in the rematch, and it's at the crib. And I hope he gets some more reps. I think he should. I mean, Javonte Williams scored twice on them last week, right? And I would like to think that Isaiah Pacheco is a better running back than Javonte Williams currently.
They're gonna have Jalen Carter back though this week.
This is true. So we'll see. Obviously he's a game wrecker, a game breaker. So we'll see if that makes. It obviously will make a big difference because he's a game breaker. But see if they can still squeak one in the end zone because Quinn has Kyron and Bijan. So I will need to match that as best as I can.
Stride for stride.
They will score 35 points as a pair.
45 if you're not lucky. Like Bijan, I think he took his first touch 50 yards to the spot.
Disgusting.
Like, just
Untouched.
like wild.
Untouched.
Like, what is this? So
Yeah, no. So yeah, I got a brand new Ferrari on my team, like our Spider, the big guy. So you will see a lot more of this now on the pod, getting Gwitty all over the place. So yeah, I had to change my team name from Puka Doncic to Chase the Money, Chase the Money. But yeah, that might be copyright. My bad. Chase the Money, the producer. So don't come if you are into fantasy football. Don't leave us alone on that one. No copyright infringement. Sorry, didn't mean to take your tag there. But yeah, so that happened. The league's a little split. It hasn't been too much of a uproar yet, but we'll see what happens. We'll definitely make some more motion. I feel like once we get closer to the game days in fantasy, or once the game's on tonight, people are gonna be like, it'll get a little bit more chattery. But whatever, it happened. It's up. We move on. We keep going. And yeah, now it's time for the part of the pod that you guys are most looking forward to, just as far as like helping your personal teams, and that's the rankings. So, as always, we will do the rankings, and then from there, we will be doing our predictions, and if we got any hot takes for this upcoming week of games, and then we'll get up out of here. So,
I like that.
we're going to take a brief intermission real quick, and then we are going to come back in what'll be like 2 seconds for you guys. But
Back at it. We appreciate your patience. We're gonna jump right into the rankings, Dan.
yeah, no, kick it off. Go ahead with the quarterbacks. Week 2, we got
Man,
start who you guys like, who you guys might like, who you guys might be take a sleeper on, who you might take a stab at. So this is Jared's forte. He's the numbers and genius behind the fantasy football analytics for our show. So I'm passing it to you, brother.
I'm not gonna lie. This week is definitely we're hoping to get back on track. I definitely my bold takes last week were definitely ice cold. So this week we're gonna look for a lot of improvement. I'm gonna just dive in. Quarterbacks, I think 1 and 2 for me, Lamar and Josh Allen. Their play speaks for itself. This week I'm actually really high on Jalen Hurts. I think a Super Bowl rematch, no matter, the last 2 times I've seen them in the big game, Jalen Hurts performed. It might not be through the air, but I do think too his legs give him a cheat code with fantasy. So I really like what they have going on for this weekend. Justin Herbert is somebody that I think this weekend, unfortunately, didn't. I think it's going to be
Might
maybe
be up.
yeah,
It
a
might be
couple
up.
touchdowns, maybe another 200-300 passing yard game.
For sure.
I'm actually really big on Dak. I think this would be a bounce back game for him. He didn't look so great against the Eagles, had a few plays, but
Home.
against the Giants,
Yeah, home. Yep.
at home exactly.
Yep.
Really, really big on what I saw from McCarthy this week. I think that would be a nice play, sleeper. I mean, granted, you're kind of forcing the play, I feel like, to start him over
sure.
who you'd play.
Yeah.
I am big on sleeper Trevor Lawrence this week. I'm high on him and Joe Burrow in that matchup. Hopefully that could be a nice play for like an over-under if you're betting. But I think both offenses hopefully could put up like 20 points. The defenses usually struggle in that game. Let me see. Kyler Murray, I do think versus the Panthers is another quarterback that I'd feel confident in starting. He's someone that definitely is a little bit more volatile, points per game. He's like maybe like 16 or something like that. Like he'll put up. But this is a game where I can see him having a 20, 23 point effort, maybe plus, and maybe having 2 or 3 touchdowns. So, and then hopefully too, Bo Nix, somebody that struggled last week. I'm definitely gonna try to see if he can have a bounce back game. Some quarterbacks I'm not too high on. Gino, I kind of want to see one more start from him. Definitely a good defense from the Chargers.
Absolutely.
Mahomes, I mean, I want to see him get it done without his receivers. Kelsey definitely looks a little bit slow, I'll call it. So I think, depending on what the Chiefs do, I can see myself, if I had Mahomes, getting away from him. Darnold, I kind of, again, want to see what he's doing versus the Steelers. And then Penix, I definitely would sit if, London's out. So.
No, definitely. I like the Kyler Murray take. Home opener, good road win to start the season. Got Carolina coming in. Definitely should look to build on his play. Completely agree with Gino. I got to see it again. 362. They don't have Christian Gonzalez, so definitely can spray the ball a little bit on New England, but we'll see. Hopefully we're competitive and we bring that going into our home opener against a very good Charger team. We got a good, tough win in a neutral site at that. All right, sweet. So we'll start with the running backs. We'll call these our smash spots, right? Guys that are steady workhorses that you could start every week. You're getting 10. You're getting a touchdown most likely, and they're going to be your workhorses for most of the year, barring any, obviously you want to maintain health and wealth. So start off with the guy. We call him White Macadamia in our league. The boy CMC. He's coming out probably rated number 1, probably for the foreseeable future of rankings. Barring health and wealth again, like I said. Especially with Brock Purdy coming out. Mac Jones will probably be leaning to rely on him, and more obviously his dump offs out of the backfield, the intermediate short game, and then just running the ball like he knows how. So Derrick Henry, another monster performance against the Bills. Someone to look at. Chase Brown. He doesn't really have anybody else that he's going to be competing with. It's really just him in that offense. So Chase Brown is another good play. Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, James Conner, Bijan. People that you drafted in the first, second, third round. These are all guys that are going to play well. I think one that I'm surprised at the most is probably Etienne. He was running. Like, that was enough to get a running back sent out of there, because it's looking like he's gonna get 20 to 25. He's gonna get his runs off, and he's looking to bounce back from a tumultuous 2024.
I think
So
also he's playing for a contract,
yeah,
so it
yeah,
seems
trying
like
to get his money for sure.
his motivation's there. But I think too the matchup for the Bengals. I'm very high on him this week. So if you have him, can't be got to be a great week for
Yeah,
you owning him.
for sure. I think he's trying to make his way into the more elite running backs into the AFC. Um, Good starts. We got James Cook, Brees Hall, Devon A. Chan, Tony Pollard, Javante Williams, and J.K. Dobbins. James Cook, I think, um, I don't know. I'm kind of like split on him. It's tough to, when Josh Allen gets going, it's like it's not really his game. But he still had, I think he had like 10 plus points regardless. Going into the Jets, um,
He was smooth, yeah.
yeah, he was still really smooth. But it'll be
I
interesting
think
to
he
see.
scored. I think did he?
Did he score? I think he did
Double
score. So
check.
he wound up being able to still reach the end zone, especially in a high scoring game like he had against Baltimore. Out of these, it'll be. I see you got like two highlights for David Montgomery and DeAndre Swift, right? Those are two guys playing their former teams, so it'll be interesting to see how they can move with the get a revenge game in. Obviously Swift's back with Ben Johnson, who he ran well under to get his money and go to Chicago, and Monty, who just a franchise who kind of turned their back on not turned their back on him, but kind of
Let him
actually
walk.
that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, they kind of turned their back on him and let him walk. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform. Sure, it'll be high emotions, but I think those are two of the better starts. Just because usually a running back runs a little bit harder, tries to play try to get a little bit more integrated into the game with a little bit more than just a game and a little bit more personal aspect to it. And then talk about some of the guys you have in matchup warnings, just because obviously you got some mainstay backs, especially one going tonight. Um, Talk about some of the matchup warnings that you see, especially because these are some of the guys that people are going to play regardless. And I
Of
like
course.
I got Genty, I see him on this list. So talk about I guess some of the guys that you see have just tougher matchups than others, and which one of these guys you think will still be able to still perform at his regular rate.
So like one thing I'm noticing too on this list, a lot of these backs kind of struggle without pass catching, right? So Saquon, someone who's going against the Chiefs defense, you watch the Super Bowl, Chiefs locked in on him. So I could see that repeating where it's like, okay, Saquon might not hit 60, 70 rushing yards. He still might have, a few catches, definitely have a goal line opportunity, a few goal line opportunities, but you got to be mindful, like, they're going to take away him. Jonathan Taylor is someone as well. Colts are going against Denver. If I had to be the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos, I'd say, my best bet of stopping them is let's stop Jonathan Taylor, and we could play Surtain on their best receiver and kind of live with that.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm also kind of tempering. Is like, okay, yeah, he's still going to have, I'd still start him. It's just, you have to be mindful. If they're not getting these pass catching roles, they might be playing from behind. That game script could be a little bit uglier. Bucky Irving.
Floor lowers a little bit.
Yeah, floor definitely lower. You're looking probably at a floor game.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving, someone I've definitely played. Matchup, for me, he catches enough passes and everything. It's just he's versus the Texans defense, tougher defense.
Front seven is beast.
Same thing, Josh Jacobs. Like, the Commanders defense looked pretty well against the Giants, but that's still the Giants. Josh Jacobs, I'd still start him. Again, you just have to be mindful. It might not be a smash spot, but, he could definitely still score 10, 12, 13 points. Will still get the job done. Pacheco, he doesn't catch enough passes for me, so I do think the Eagles will kind of lock in on him. I do like his game, but I don't think you're going to beat the Eagles by running the ball, kind of like up the middle where he thrives. Jalen Warren, they have the Seahawks, nice defense. But I could also see Jalen Warren had a nice game. It's just be mindful, like when you see coming these tougher matchups for running these running backs. You might not see an RB1 performance from the usual guy. So
Yeah. Not for sure. And then, you just gotta monitor the committees, right? Like the committees is always one thing you gotta just roll the dice with because you never know which way it's gonna go. I spent a fifth round pick on RJ Harvey, so I'm still trying to figure out how that's gonna look. So I mean, as rookies, or people in committees, you obviously gotta hope that it's looking up. You just gotta be optimistic, and hopefully, your guy that you chose out of the two starts to uptick and then get the starting role. But Denver is a great example of that with Dobbins and Harvey. Dobbins looked like he had the edge a little bit. I know Harvey did have what it was 6 for 70, and he was able to break out one of his attempts. But that might not always be the case on 6 attempts for you to be thankful to have 70. So that might not always be the case. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, one to monitor very closely. I saw a lot of Jordan Mason. Right, we were watching. You know, just following. I had ticket in and watching the game and things like that. Just we're like, yo, where's Aaron Jones? Like, you take his yards, like, where you got to get on the field. It felt like I was watching a lot more Mason than Aaron Jones, so that's interesting. Charbonnet, I don't believe K9 got into the end zone. I think Charbonnet was the one that scored, so that'll be interesting to see. Trevion Henderson's got to have a increased wall. Wild Bill tonight will be interesting to see how he does against the Packers, who have shown their defense looks good. I mean, obviously adding Micah Parsons will always elevate your defense, but it looks good. And then Cleveland, Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, both had solid games with the edge to Sampson. Another high waiver guy to think about. And then Marks and Nick Chubb down in Houston. I wouldn't touch that with 10.4. Either of them. So, kick off the wide receivers. I see you got my boy at the top.
Yeah, definitely the normal. Obviously, Chase Lamb, Jefferson. I do like London if he plays. Collins, I do want hopefully have a bounce back. He was someone on my bold. Both of them actually. Collins and London, I was high on last week.
You were, yeah, absolutely.
London dropped a touchdown pass or two, I believe, but Collins just didn't get going at all. I'm definitely a little bit higher on both Nakua and Devontae this week. Nakua definitely was great last week. I think Devontae could be much better this week. Lad McConkey, although I did say Keenan Allen was going to have a good game.
You did.
I could see Lad McConkey kind of shifting back into the driver's seat where kind of Quentin Johnson looked good, but, might be more of a focus this game. Lad McConkey might, I think he might pick apart a little bit of the Raiders defense there. Sutton, I think, is a usual go. He had a great, the double move on the Titans defender. That was a great
jump
route.
ball, yeah, nasty.
He, even when Bo Nix is struggling, Cortland Sutton's really, I feel like he's a big target there for them, especially in the red zone. So, and if Ingram's banged up, could be one less pass catcher for competition. Hopefully, Brian Thomas can get with Trevor Lawrence and get connection, because that's someone I'm confident with the matchup, but just I'm gonna actually have to watch that game a little bit. And
staple of your team.
Yeah. T. Higgins again.
Another staple of your team.
DK revenge game factor, so I kind of like him more than I did last week with the Sauce Shadow.
In Seattle, in Pittsburgh.
I'd have to look it up to be honest. I do like just in general the fact that
100%.
I kind of like it would be better if he's going to Seattle. I think you would be more okay. Well,
yeah.
I think you'd be more up for that game because the locker room, the area. I feel more comfortable, and you're probably looking to silence the crowd. So.
No, absolutely.
Garrett Wilson, Ibuka, Flowers coming off big week ones. Neighbors, I think, could bounce back, but I'd have to watch that game to see what Russell Wilson's on. I'm very concerned about the Giants' offense. McLaurin would be a good one tonight. Hunter could be good, but I'm a little worried. Some big matchups. Mike Evans. Bucks are going against Texans,
Houston.
so that's Stingley matchup. A.J. Brown could be seeing Trent McDuffie. JSN could be seeing Porter, who is it, Ramsey or Slay. I mean, granted, they have some decent DBs, but you can still be beat. Marvin Harrison, they're going to be seeing J.C. Horn. Jerry Jeudy has to deal with the Baltimore corners. I'm going to call him T-Max or Tetra McMillan. He's going to have to deal. It looked like Will Johnson was pretty sharp. They're talking about he's making some noise, so could be a tougher matchup. Hollywood Brown versus the Eagles. That should be another waiver wire pickup. A lot of people might have done.
Hollywood for sure.
I could see him having a decent
He's
game.
one of the most picked up. I saw a couple leagues or a couple sources said that he was like one of the most picked up too.
I could definitely see him having a decent game. All it takes for him is one play. So he's someone, unfortunately, if you really had to, I could understand, but maybe want to get away from him until you see a little bit more. But he was very involved. St. Brown, I think if Jalen Johnson plays, that could be a Jamison Williams kind of day. So yeah, a few sleepers as you'll see on the list. But I'm definitely hoping for week 1 bounce backs. I think I'm pretty high on Diggs, Ridley, Pickens, and Devontae Smith this week. I
Need
think
it.
those receivers I'm kind of keeping an eye on. If someone were to flex those 3, I think you'll be a little bit, definitely a little bit more excited to see what their score is as opposed to last week. So
100%.
tight ends, we'll kick it back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking like the top 2 are not gonna be changing
Nope.
anytime soon. 2 sophomores, 2 phenoms, 2 hybrid, tight ends with Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers had a knee scare. I was looking at some of my Raiders sources, and he wanted to come back in right after, so he was perfectly fine. A workhorse. Definitely turning into, I saw Geno made his first read, second read, third read, and it's all right. I think I said it last week, Brock Bowers is out there somewhere and he will catch the ball. He's a monster. Same thing with McBride. Warren as well, just with how they play and with their matchup, with the Broncos coming in. Obviously, you got PS2. He's going to be locking down Pittman or Downs or whoever it might be, so he won't. I doubt PS2 will probably get that much coverage on the tight end, so he should be able to maybe sneak out and get some coverage and get some throws. So that'll be interesting. T.J. Hawkinson should have a good, little bit better of a bounce back game. I think if J.J. McCarthy puts together 4 quarters of what he did this upcoming week, I think you'll see an uptick for T.J. Hawkinson, as well as Sam Laporta. They definitely got to bounce back as an offense in general. You got Tucker Kraft here. Excuse me. You got Tucker Kraft here who's playing tonight. I think if there's any weakness in the Commander defense, it would be the linebackers ish because
I love their linebackers.
But even still, they're still very solid. But I say if you had to pick one of the levels, even maybe the secondary. But
they got
Tucker,
Bobby, Frankie, and
Lulu,
Von Miller
Von,
over there. They got some stuff, I should say. But again,
But those are all downhill linebackers. So
older too.
Yeah, Kraft should still be able to get behind them.
I like Tucker Kraft today.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. I do too. I got him starting in got him in my ESPN league. Shout out JT. Dallas Goedert, I mentioned it earlier. He looked way better than I thought he was going to. I think that's someone you can look at. You mentioned it earlier. Mark Andrews should bounce back for Baltimore. Yeah, no, it's just no ifs, ands, or buts. Should just get bounced back. I like Jake Ferguson. I think he's solid. I think coming in against the Giants, I think he should have if the Cowboys should put up 24 plus, he should be able to lock in with that. Shout out the Cavender twins. Tough matchups. We got Kyle Pitts and Njoku here. Obviously with Fannin, it's a tough matchup internally before it's even a tough matchup against the opponent. So it'll be interesting to see if Fannin has duplicated success or if they were just feeding the hot 10, especially going to Baltimore, which is looking like the widest spread for this week at 11.5.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So they're expecting a thrashing, a shellacking down in Baltimore.
That's the dog walk of the week right
at
there.
the bank. So 11.5 on a Thursday. They're expecting you to get crushed because it'll probably go up a point or 2 by Sunday. Sleepers, talked about it earlier. Somebody I just picked, and another person who I was considering picking up, who I had for a couple seconds before I dropped him. But Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is very touchdown dependent, so just be wary and careful of that. Jaden Daniels does like to go to him, though, so his touchdown rate is very high since he's been in Washington. Jonnu Smith, he's with Aaron Rodgers. He's seeming to feed everybody over there already, so it'll be interesting to see.
Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. He had him in Tennessee. He had him in Atlanta. He has him in Pittsburgh. That's not a coincidence, bro. That's one of his glue guys in the locker room. He's going to get him the ball. And they just paid him
priority.
They extended him in a trade.
And then I was talking about Hunter Henry's target rate, being up there with top with the receivers, tied at 8. So I need that to duplicate. Hopefully, we can get in the end zone. The Patriots have the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yep, correct. Down in Miami.
That's a secondary you attack.
Yeah.
Clearly, Daniel Jones is doing so.
Something. So, yeah, I'll pass it back to you. Got kickers and DSTs.
Let's do it. Kickers, I feel like for sure. Brandon Aubrey, just lock it, set it, forget it. You don't even have to think. You have Aubrey
He's a second flex.
for sure. Chris Boswell, he just down the Jets with a 60-plus yarder, and it looked like it would have been good from 65 for real. If you're
100%.
watching that game, that was one of the
With the wind, too.
frustrating. It was just a beautiful kick.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Dicker, McPherson, Jake Elliott, Fairbairn. I like the kicker from the Jaguars. Also, like I said, it could be a higher scoring game. Ryland, Bucker, Lutz, Cardi, McManus, Bates, Loop, McLaughlin. I'm comfortable starting these guys. Weather dependent. The matchup speaks to me. Says, you know what? Hopefully there's points scored in these games. Or even two, like the Chiefs and Eagles. It could be a lower scoring game. These teams are familiar with each other. Obviously, it's not, hopefully, probably not going to be like the Super Bowl blowout. But if it's like a 28-20 game or 21 game, I feel like there could be a lot of field goals involved, a lot of stops, things like that.
100%.
The DST is a little bit thinner for me this week. I'm high on the Ravens. I'm very high on the Denver. I think true colors of the Colts could come out this weekend. Rams defense was a surprise. Like I said, that last week they held it down. They're playing the Titans, but Titans had a lot of drops last week that kind of cost them. So we'll see.
For sure.
Minnesota, I would like a lot more if Drake London misses. Arizona, I'm kind of high on. Detroit and LA usually are sturdy. This week, I would. It's hard. Like Pittsburgh has a tough matchup, I think, or in my opinion, Houston has a tough matchup. Green Bay, these are defenses I would see a lot of people owning, prioritizing, and starting. So you might get like 3, 4, maybe a lower scoring game from them. But some defense I'm a little higher on. Arizona, I think I already mentioned Arizona, but I have it twice. But I like Seattle.
Panthers coming in.
I like New England, and I like Dallas this week. All those teams could potentially put up some points. I personally do not have the stomach to play the Saints defense versus the 49ers or vice versa, the 49ers defense versus the Saints. If you are doing that, I respect it because I just not going that far. But I can see those being some outlandish calls this week that you probably have to hold your nose, and then when you look at the box sheet or whatever, the fantasy score, you're like, oh shoot, they held it down. So
Nah, that's a fact. I like it. So tap in. This would be a little bit after the Thursday night football game. So obviously, if you're playing a Thursday night, Jordan Love's not a starter yet, I don't think. So hold on to Jordan Love. He will. I mean, if he keeps playing like he did last week, he might be your starter. So we'll look out for Jordan Love. Auto start Josh Jacobs. Just be wary of the Commanders' defense. So hopefully you did that. Tucker Kraft, if you waited on your tight end, it's a good to go start. I wouldn't do either of the defenses just because I'm not sure how that game could go. It could be high scoring. It could be a low battlefield up in Lambeau. I don't think it gets... Let me see what the weather is like tonight up in Lambeau. It is 65, so it's not even like super, super cold up there yet. So that'll be interesting. Keep an eye on that. And then for the Commanders, auto start Terry, auto start Jaden. Zach Ertz is a waiver. Debo, you shouldn't need to start Debo just yet unless you're taking a flyer on his matchup. But yeah, no, I mean you start who you should start in the Packers Commanders. I feel like there's not really much. Being in week 2, it shouldn't be too much of a choice unless you got 2 stars that you're trying to weigh the options for matchups. Let's see. Pull up the NFL slate for week 2. Any takes that you got early that you feel? Anything that you...
I'll go with another inferior quarterback. Hopefully it doesn't make me look bad. I think Trevor Lawrence could have realistically a really good game versus the Bengals defense.
Okay.
If I had to do maybe an upset of the week, can you scroll down one more? I know I was just looking at that. Down. Continue. I would not be surprised. I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's gonna sound bad, but I would not be surprised if the Bears snuck out a game against the Lions. It's gonna sound crazy. I know, but the Bears, hear me out. They look good in the first half. Ben Johnson revenge aspect. I don't know. I think that game could get very weird and like very just like, oh man, last second something happens, a big turnover, a fumble.
Okay.
But that's a game I kind of want to look at. Like I said, Monty and DeAndre Swift revenge games.
For
The
sure.
coach.
Ben
So
Johnson, yeah, absolutely.
that one can get a little weird. So I have my eye on that one.
If you feel the same way as him, they are Bears money line is plus 230. So
Plus two. What's the line on there?
6.5.
Yeah, I would take the points on that.
Yeah,
I would take 6.5. I would.
that's not bad. Not bad.
Granted, Caleb Williams, I'm not like overly confident, but like I do think Caleb Williams has a shot there. But yeah, for the most part, I think these are gonna be some pretty entertaining games. Is there anything you got your eye on? Obviously, besides the Raiders.
Yeah.
What's your draw this week?
I think Houston's favored.
They're home.
I think the
Monday
Bucks.
night.
I think the Bucks win by 10 plus.
10 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I just don't think the Bucks defense is as strong. Their offense is legit. I just
if
gotta see.
if Baker's protected and they keep Will Anderson from getting back there, I think Mike. I think that'll lead into my other take of Mike Evans snapping, because I think Stingley's gonna
Be on Ibuka.
take the challenge of Ibuka.
I would try to hide Ibuka in the slot if I'm the Bucks.
Okay. That'll
Not
be my
hide
first
him,
one.
but
I think Houston by 2.5 is, I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
That's gonna be a good game.
I would put that at even until I got to that. Just I think the Bucks are trying to be that 10-win team in their division and win the title a little bit more convincingly. But another one I like. I'm not gonna hold you. Saints. With all the Saints stuff, them being favored 3.5, I like the Saints at home because I don't like Mac Jones.
I'm not gonna gas. That's not.
That's a duty bowl.
I was just gonna say, like, I waited for football mad long, and I have no interest in watching a second, like even a play of that game.
Nah,
I have no
I won't
interest.
watch any. Not definitely because I don't have AK now. I won't be watching it.
I would only literally look at the
Down.
box score of that game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what did Juwan Johnson do next? Like, that's how I'm looking.
Just ticker, literally. So, but I just think Mac Jones on the road, like trying to figure out a new system. I think Spencer Rattler looked decent enough to get a dub. So I'll be my take. Saints win, good to 1-1. How about you? Jets? Like, what's up with that? Y'all 6.5?
We have to beat the Bills or the Bucks. We're not about to be 0-3. So pick your poison. I tell them it's either this week or next week, but you got to beat somebody. Or you're looking at 0-3, and then it'll be, I think, week 4 we play
You're a month
the
in.
Dolphins Monday Night Football. So I mean, granted, that's could be potentially 1-3, but you don't want to start the season 1-3. You got to give yourself a chance. So like I told myself, I don't care, Bills or Bucks, but one of those games, I need to win. Preferably the Bucks game, because
We there.
But more to come there.
Yeah, you'll see that. We'll stay tuned for that for sure. All right, so we'll wrap it up with our usual rapid fire. Pick our winners. Real quick, I face King this week. Good luck to you, my dog.
Ooh.
Week 2 matchup where the projections are very close right now. You got red, so like you said, good to take momentum into Florida and talk about the win literally all weekend leading up to week 3. I have red next week, so that's even funnier. The spinners, CP, he has Kemis. Could be a big game. Obviously, CP's coming off the trade to see how his team looks, and then Kemis is looking to go to 2-0. Yeah, should be a good matchup. Scoop Chris, a lot of shit talking between those two this week. It's been good. So they might be doing a little slide bet too. See how they get down with that. That's their business. But that's gonna be a good matchup as well. Scoop coming off of a loss. He has his stack tonight, so a lot of implications. Or no, he doesn't have. He doesn't have Terry McLaurin. Excuse me, my bad. He doesn't have Terry McLaurin. He has a quarterback tonight, so he'll be watching this game intently. And then you got Zaire and Steen. Steen looking to bounce back after week 1 loss. And Zaire looking to go to 2-0. And then the final matchup of the week, I just misclicked and I'm back, is Alex and Foom. So,
This one's a good, pretty
it's
even
a really
draw.
good, very even draw. Agreed. See if CJ comes to play on Monday night.
I'm for sure rooting for Steen and Zaire's matchup with him. I'm
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
rooting for Steen.
Absolutely.
I would kind of want to see though, because Steen just lost his Kittle and Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kittle and
Purdy.
Purdy stack.
Yeah,
So I don't
absolutely.
want to see, but he made some nice adjustments there though. So I'm gonna see what's up with that. That's a kind of a good game, but I think Chris and Scoop or Alex and Vern probably gonna be like the closer matchups.
He has a
I don't
sneaky
know.
stack with Golf Gibbs.
Yeah, that could be definitely
That's
receiving.
sneaky.
Yeah.
He has Terry, so he'll be watching Terry tonight. Yeah, so let's get this rapid fire out of here. Get up out of here. So you kind of heard a little bit, a couple of some new phrases. Oh, first week. Let's stop real quick. Do the dog walk. Dog walk of the week goes to King. He had the biggest margin of victory over Evan. So he almost won by 30, like we mentioned. So he has a dog walk of the week. No double doggy discount. That was just one this week. But yeah, look forward to that. Like look out for the dog walk of the week. Smash spots, like we said. Good starts, and yeah, some of our things will coin as channel 856. But let's get into these picks real quick. Get out of here. All right. Thursday night football tonight. 9/11. We remember all those. Shout out to everybody that's lost a loved one.
Facts.
Anybody still in remembrance, we are with you. We pray for you. And God be with you and your family on this tough day. And the Commanders and Packers start off the week. Who you got?
I want the Commanders to win.
I was talking to Mom Dukes earlier. I think it'll be whoever has the ball last. And I think the Packers put some people on alert and go 2-0 at the crib. Rams Titans.
Rams.
I agree. They're favored pretty heavy, 5.5 for all my gamblers. Jags Bengals.
Give me the Bengals, but they start very slow.
They do start slow.
I think that has the shootout potential. Like that could really.
Agreed.
Like I might do it over on
Agreed.
that game.
That might be where you see BTJ and Travis Hunter start to pop out a little bit more.
Ravens.
Staying with another AFC North team, Browns Ravens. We got the Ravens. No need to talk much there. Bills Jets.
I do want the Jets to win, but I think the Bills. They're showing last week, Sunday night. It's gonna be a tough ass, even in our crib. It's gonna be a tough ass. So, give me the Bills, but obviously this goes against me being a Jets fan. It hurts, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough game to win.
There should be a good game. I think
We played them well. It's
Yeah.
just we gotta execute. We gotta win, and that's a team that finishes the games well. Fourth quarter, they can put up points in bunches. So
15 in 5 minutes. Patriots Dolphins.
Patriots.
Agreed. I like the Patriots as well. 49ers Saints.
49ers.
I'm rocking with the Saints. Giants Cowboys.
Cowboys
As well. Bears Lions. You picked the Bears, right?
If I had to take an upset, I'm taking the Bears this week.
I think the Lions will have to dust off last week and show people why they were a top NFC team last week. So I'll go Lions. Seahawks Steelers.
Give me Seahawks.
Ooh, Seahawks on their road.
I mean, I'm not salty, but maybe I am a little bit about the Steelers.
Fair enough. I will go with the Steelers. Broncos Colts.
Broncos.
Panthers Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I agree. Super Bowl rematch. You got
Eagles.
Eagles at the Chiefs.
Eagles.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just because the wide receiver room's a little banged up, I'm going to go with the Eagles. Minnesota will be having Atlanta pull up to play. Who you got? Falcons, Vikings.
This is going to be a good game if all the players play.
Sunday night, prime time.
Give me Minnesota. But I think it's going to be closer than people think. It could be like another field goal situation. But I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with Minnesota. I agree. Monday Night Football.
Double dose.
Double dose, double header.
Dang, you be up all night.
Opening up with Bucks Texans.
Dang, give me the Bucks.
Give me the Bucks. Chargers Raiders.
I'm gonna say the Chargers.
I will never not pick my team on this. No, I'm just playing. Chargers. They looked really good. I was not as worried about that game if they would have not looked as good, to be honest. But they looked really good. Jim and Justin got something going over there. Omarion Hampton looked really well. Keenan Ladd and Quentin could be a good trio. So hopefully we compete. I think Agino repeats his success. We do have decent success against the Chargers, so we'll see. But yeah, no, we appreciate y'all. As Jared always says, shout out our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Facts.
Make sure y'all say what's up to y'all family. Call your mom, call your dad, call your cousin, auntie, sister, brother, cousin. Tell them you love them. Shout out King as always. Shout out CP as always. The behind the scenes
Facts.
wizards making this happen for us every week. Shout out my guy Jared. Appreciate
you
you as always making time for us. Making time for y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're like,
thank y'all for making time for us, for real.
For sure. We are, let's get a live look at subs because I know we're close. It's got to be like 1 or 2 at this point. We are at 48.
48.
Two people.
Just need 2 more clicks, y'all.
2 more people
2
hit that
more.
sub. And you could be.
We're going to pick a random winner.
Yep.
And we're going to get in contact with you, have your choice, and we're gonna handle that for y'all. So
For sure.
Go ahead and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
But, Jared, any shout-outs? Anything you want to say?
Dang, my son, I got a first grader, y'all. So, shout out to Noah,
Shout out
for
Noah.
real.
Yes, sir.
Shout out my parents, everybody else who be watching, supporting from my family. I appreciate y'all staying invested and keeping up to date with it. Dan, Quinn, CP, shout out y'all. Evan, we right in Tampa next week. So
Really?
you know what time
For
it
sure.
is. Chris,
Really?
you know what time it is. And,
Yeah.
shout out to Justin Fields real quick. And shout out to Aaron Glenn. So we're going to just end it like that.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Enjoy this fall weather. Virgo season. My birthday's 8 days away. If y'all want to get me a gift, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell.
Free gift.
Free gift. You don't got it. Takes 4 seconds. Like, comment, subscribe, notification, and you're out. And just like we out, live from the 856. It's channel 856. Danny X.
Jared, we signing out.
Peace. Love.